What is going on, YouTube? C0L3 here, back with a brand new video today. As y'all can tell by the title. Hey, man, we got a special video today. Social anxiety epidemic is destroying a whole generation of men by Ty Buggy Podcast. So I actually found this video from Astro Dior. Well, first and foremost, before I get into that, y'all, it's been a little minute. I know I haven't been uploading on YouTube and stuff like that as much as I used to be. Because right now, y'all, I'm really trying to finish school. Dang, how much battery I got? 22. All right. I'm really trying to finish school. So I've been working on my senior project. And just to let y'all see that I'm not capping. Look at this is my senior project all right here on my laptop, y'all. So you feel me? Thank you guys for bearing with me. And yeah, so y'all know that I'm not capping because that was my senior project right there, and it's still not done. I'm still not done, y'all. I still got to do a whole bunch of stuff. Hold up, let me move myself over. Okay, so you can tell by the title, I came across this video, man, from Astro Dior. Shout out to him. And I thought the topic was very interesting because I actually suffered from social anxiety. They still ain't draft Shador. I still apologize for that. I usually suffer from social anxiety, so I actually want to see what this topic has to say, and yeah, let's get right into it.
Have a good day.
I deal with anxiety a lot, like the social anxiety a lot of times. Like that's an issue for me just talking to people. Like,
what should I do if my boyfriend has social anxiety? Get another one that doesn't have social anxiety and go out with him?
Listen, y'all, men are disappearing, and I'm not talking about physically disappearing, but I'm talking about socially disappearing. Because we can see each other, but socially, most men are absent. Nowadays, people rather jump on their phones than have any type of human-to-human interactions. The other day, I went to a festival, and people had on their best dress, just for them to be standing around on their phones. Again, they're physically there, but they're socially gone. The social anxiety epidemic is something that most people don't talk about because the people that have it are suffering in silence.
Social anxiety is a mother. Like, so I left the house today and, I wanted to do some Christmas shopping, so I came to Target, my favorite place. And, before I left the house, I swear I was doing so good. I was pumping myself up. I was saying, Ricky, today we're not going to let anxiety, control us. We're going to have a good day. And, just all this stuff. Like, I'm just trying to prepare myself. And now that I'm here, it's just like my brain is, I don't know. It's just something about large crowds. Like, I don't know what it is. And I know none of these people know me. None of them have any reason to harm me or like say something crazy to me, but my brain just cannot process that I'm not in danger. Like, I'm literally sitting here debating going back home, and I don't
see. This is a different level, right? So for me, like when I have social anxiety, right? This was back in, because I don't think like, yeah, I get anxious at times. Like, you gonna get anxious and stuff at times. But he's to the point where, he's about to go back inside the crib because, he went to one place and, he's having like a panic attack or whatever. Not a panic attack, but he's just, you know what I'm saying? He's having an episode, right? So for me though, right, when I had social anxiety, it was back in my sophomore year, right? And it was mainly because like, my freshman year, I had a girlfriend, right? So once we broke up, right, I didn't really have the social skills because I was with her most of the time of my day, my freshman year. Like, I would hang out with her most of my time. So I wouldn't really go out and socialize as much. But so once that ended, right, I didn't really have too many people to talk to, right? So I was like, dang, I'm about to go to the cafeteria by myself. And I'm about to be, you get what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't. You feel me? So I was very anxious about that. Sitting in the cafeteria by myself. And the first time I did it, I was like, it sucked. It didn't feel good. But I was cool with it. Like, and the more that you do some, so I would say like social anxiety really comes from like once you master being alone and you're comfortable in your own skin, And I feel like the only way you can really be comfortable in your own skin is by solitude, by being alone, by doing things by yourself. Like I do a lot of things by myself. Um, I'll go to lunch by myself. I'll go to bowling by myself. I'll go to the movie theater by myself. Like you really have to find comfort in your own skin. And you also got to realize like nobody cares. Like nobody's paying attention to you as much as you think. You might think in your head, "Oh, this person's looking at me. Oh, that person." And they might actually be looking at you, but at the end of the day, they don't care. Like they're going to move on with their day. Like something else is going to grab their attention, whether it's on social media or whether it's on in real life. And you know what I'm saying? They're going to forget about the little moment that you had. Maybe you spilled something or maybe you embarrassed yourself. Like nobody's really caring like that. So I mean, once I installed that in my head and I started to realize like, you know what I'm saying, like who cares? Then it's like now like I'm cool. Like I can go places by myself, be cool. And people will ask me, people will come up to me and they were like, "Are you cool? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm perfectly fine." And they're like, "Well, you're not with nobody, you by yourself." And I'm like, "Yeah." Like sometimes I just need my own peace, my own um I enjoy my own company, man. So you have to get to a point where, that's a priority.
I deal with anxiety a lot, like and social anxiety a lot of times. Like I just how that's an issue for me just talking to people. Like no matter what it is, it could be on some friendly shit. Cause I'm the type of person that gotta warm up to people.
When I
Okay.
look at the old videos of people,
Okay. I agree with that. That's me as well. Like I have a hard time so my issue is, right, and I found this out throughout my experiences through therapy, right? I found out that I have trust issues because I'm not going to get into why I have trust issues, but just know that I have a problem trusting people, right? So I hear what Polo G says when he says, he has a hard time opening up. That's me as well. But since you have a hard time opening up, I wouldn't say like don't socialize at all. You know what I'm saying? You still got to be a little bit social. Like, yeah, I'm not telling nobody my whole plans and all that. And yeah, it does take me a little minute to like get to know somebody. So like, if it's my first time hanging out with you and we never hung out before, like you're probably not gonna get the best out of me that one day. But you know, if it's a consistent basis that we hanging out and we're spending time together, whether it's male or female, friends or partners, then I'll begin to let my guard down a little bit. Not and I won't be on as much edge. You get what I'm saying? So now I'll be more open and friendly, if you want to call it that, and just crack more jokes and be myself because I do have that initial shield up. I do realize that like I got that initial shield up, but once I hang out with people, the shield gets cracked a little bit as time goes on.
90s and the early 2000s, they looked like they were so full of life. Like, it looked like embarrassment was the last thing that was on their minds. Like, I don't know if y'all ever watched the old videos. They're interacting, they're dancing if it's a party. It's not like everybody's just to themselves. People are talking to strangers. Even in the shows, like, if you watch an old school show, it's like the energy was just different. It felt so authentic. Like, when I watch Martin, it's genuinely funny. When I watch stuff from nowadays, it just seems like everything is so forced and people are trying to act instead of just flowing into who we naturally are. It just seems like back in the day they were just so much more present.
Well, another thing too is back in the day they didn't have social media, wasn't as prevalent. I'm gonna say that they didn't have social media, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. So social media is, if we break it down, social media is a form of gratification, right? Instant gratification. So back in the day, they didn't have that microwavable gratification. So people had to go outside to talk to girls and talk to people and meet people and network or whatever. You had to go outside. But social media changed society and the game so much that now you can be in the comfort of your own home and send that DM or send that message to whoever. And, they might respond, they might not. But social media provides a very accessible way to gain, not to gain, but to attain gratification, and it's in our hands. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is a TikTok I was making. It's in our hands, right? So it was a completely different time period, man. Technology has changed. Social media is here. It's a completely different ball game. So yeah, people back then, they had nothing else but to be real and be themselves. Because if you're not yourself, you're not real, right? Nobody's gonna take you serious in real life. You get what I'm saying? So nowadays you can get away with stuff. You can send a DM and act like somebody you're not. You can have a whole image on social media and be a completely different person in real life. And some of y'all might say that's me, but I don't know. I can talk a lot here, and I can be quiet out in real life, but that's because I've created this space where I feel comfortable sharing my thoughts, my ideas with y'all. But it was a completely different time period, so I agree with him. This look lit too. Y'all ever felt like y'all was born in the wrong era? Y'all ever felt like y'all was born in the wrong? That'd be me sometimes, dog. I be feeling like if I was born back then, I would have been lit. Not saying I'm not lit now, but like I would have been like more. I would have had a lot more fun. It was cold.
Has Kyrie texted you back?
I don't want to talk about it.
How's the math test?
Don't.
I can't help but to wish I was old enough to experience more of that era. Then I question, why are we so different today? Like, why do I go out and everybody is on their phones? Why do people say that it's so hard to meet each other? But it seems like people have a fear of even interacting with each other. Like, why do we care so much even though all of us don't want to care so much? Like, why? Like, why does it seem like everybody is operating in a shell of themselves? It's almost as if our phones have become our safe space to run to instead of facing the issue of why don't we want to socialize. That unspoken issue has become normal. But social anxiety is a real problem that people are suffering from and is ruining their quality of life.
I didn't realize how bad my anxiety was until I got older, because I'm trying to plan for everything. So because like I'm not expressing how I feel, or because I'm like not really able to process how I feel in the right way, I'm trying to think of how you feel and then think of a response and then think of a response to your response. So now I'm planning the entire circumstance, entire conversation, how everything gonna go, instead of just saying how I feel and seeing what happened.
I don't know if it's just me, but y'all ever been out in public and didn't want to be in public? When you got that feeling of everybody watching you, but nobody's watching you. Like, why the fuck do we always feel like that? But necessarily, I'm talking to the people who do feel like that. You could be walking into a store by yourself, and you feel like the whole store is watching you. You start having anxiety. You start thinking people looking at you, people thinking about you, people talking about you. But in reality, we shouldn't even care. Then on top of that, they're not even gonna fucking think about you when they leave the store themselves. I swear, bro, I'm just one of the people who don't like being around people at all. I don't like the vibe from people. I don't like being around a bunch of people. I just don't like that shit. I don't know if it's the bad experience I had with people in my past or how people treated me, but I know other people feel the same exact way how I feel.
Listen, most people that struggle with social anxiety is because you think you're more important than you are. And that's not a slight. That's not to speak down on you. That's not for you to look at yourself and now become insecure. It's just that you think that people are making a judgment on you at every moment. Like you walk in the room and now the judgment automatically starts. I mean, let's just say the judgment does start as soon as you walk in the room. Once you walk out of that room, what did any of their judgment matter? Or even while you're in that room, are they going to hit you? Are they going to harm you? What if you're that funny looking person in the room, but you're the only authentic person in the room? You're the only person that's actually comfortable in your skin. Meanwhile, everybody else in the room is concerned what everybody is thinking about them.
And that's why I want to reiterate on that, right? You just got to be comfortable in your own skin. Like, because I be suffering, I wouldn't say like I have social anxiety, but I have had it before in the past where, I would always think that somebody's looking at me, or, I would always think I was the center of attention. But bro, once you just calm down and you just, cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I went out, I was at this function 2 days ago, right? it was a lot of people out there, right? But I was moving through the crowd, and I felt a sense of comfort in myself, like in my own skin. So I didn't have anxiety or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was just chilling. I was really just chilling, y'all. And there was a crowd of people around me. This crowd of people was huge. And I'm just chilling, minding my business, relaxing. You know, I don't know if I could have did that. Now, mind you, I did have somebody with me. My mans was with me. But still, I don't know if I could have did that, you know, a couple years ago, right? And you know, you just gotta get to that point where you just don't really, you just flowing. You don't really care what happens, you know. You're just having a good time, you know. You don't really put too much pressure or expectations on, you know, what's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna go this way, it's gonna go that. I don't know how it's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? Once you take that approach to social anxiety, you'll adapt that approach to life as well. Now it's like you feel me? You don't know what's gonna happen, so why stress about everything that could happen when you want to just live in the moment? Sometimes y'all just gotta live in the moment.
Think about that. You're in a room worried about what other people think, but those people are worried about what you think. And that's the catch-22 of social anxiety. Most people aren't really even thinking about you the way you think they're thinking about you. They're just going on about their own days. And the more you understand this, the more freeing you will be. When you walk in a room, those people only exist on how you perceive them.
Social anxiety is not real. People ask me, Ems, how do you know how social anxiety? You know why? Because why do you need social anxiety? Everyone's gonna die one day, and you see all these people here watching me right now, they're all going to forget in 20 minutes. Literally.
They are gonna forget. That's facts.
Hey, literally. All of these people right here, they have lives themselves. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. Look at him. He cares about himself. Do you care about me, sir? You got sons? So you got to care about family. I hear it. My boy, though, literally, all of these people, they're trying to catch their train. They don't care what I'm talking about. But social anxiety is not real. She don't care. He don't care. The baby don't care.
That's a good.
They don't care.
This is a good.
Where you going?
Okay, I probably wouldn't went to this extreme of a length, you know. But you got to hear the message though. The message is important, and he's speaking facts here.
Guys, listen. Social anxiety got real.
I'm already at 17 minutes. Damn.
Okay, it might be real. I don't know. Anyways, guys, listen. Let's watch my video.
Social anxiety does not exist. It is a pure fragment of your imagination. Why are you gonna care what anyone thinks, huh? Do any of these people pay for your bills? Why do you care what people think of you? Why are you embarrassed in front of people, huh? Look, no one cares. Look, people are just getting about their normal day and no one cares about you. So why do you care about what they think? Social anxiety literally does not exist. Look, see? Everyone's just shopping, minding their own business. They're all gonna go home and they're gonna forget about it.
One of the main ways that you think people judge you is how you judge other people. So that's another reason why you got to be careful with what you say with your tongue as well. If you're constantly speaking negatively or judging other people, or you're always on your phone and you're judging what you see, and you're constantly reading comments, seeing how other people negatively judge whatever you're looking at, you're gonna assume that the judgment that comes to you is also gonna be negative, which is why focusing on the positive judgment to yourself is what can free you from this type of thinking. Because remember, none of the people that see you actually know you. But I want to show y'all something from one of my favorite creators in this space. When I was really struggling with social anxiety, his videos really helped me. Check this out.
Why are you so shy? You're visibly nervous.
I've seen it before.
It's like public speaking, and it's not easy.
Okay, well, let's logically look at it. Are you in danger?
No.
Anyone here have a gun? Seattle, no guns. There's no threat. Logically, nothing will happen. You can do whatever. You can make some silly sounds. Look at that. Nothing happened. Yeah. Give him a hand. Look at that. This is good on the external side. Why? Because you did something that was a little out there, out of character, outside of your comfort zone. You didn't die, and you actually received positive feedback. So realize, nothing bad happened. If you're someone who just lives up here, mentally, in the mental, logical, analytical realm, you will not have charisma. That is the land of the robots. It's like, I am trying to have charisma. I will say the same line Julian said, and hopefully it will also be charismatic. No, you got to learn how to feel. Get into your body. If you can't feel, there's step number one. And guess what? Most people can't. Most people, even in terms of expressing how they feel, even a smile, they are unable to smile. And this is why most of us, even when going out, it's like we feel like imposters, right? It's like, oh, they're going to discover the real me. Why are you not putting the real you out there? Why do you believe that the real you is so pathetic that you have to hide it? And when you actually put it out, you tap into it, you have that self-respect where it's like, you know what? No, I'm no longer going to compromise who I am. I'm going to put it out there. And you just feel alive. There is no going back. There is no going back to the fake front. You just can't.
I know for some people, you're probably saying to yourself, yeah, but if I'm the real me, what if people don't accept that? What if people laugh at me? What if people look at me in a way that's different from how they look at me now? Like, what if that girl, she doesn't call me or she doesn't give me her phone number because I'm being the real me? I'm saying the corny jokes that I naturally say. I'm not being suavemente, trying to be one of these guys off of YouTube. I'm being the real me. What if she doesn't like that, though?
What should I do if my boyfriend has social anxiety? Get another one that doesn't have social anxiety and go out with him and let the other one stay home? That's easy.
I feel bad for any woman that's listening to Shira 7. But anyways, let's get back to the topic. See, by you not being yourself, you strengthen the resistance of being yourself, making it more hard for you to naturally be you. So you keep up this persona that you believe is a lot more acceptable, which is why we have dudes in the club that are sitting on their phones instead of enjoying the music, which is why we have girls that instead of enjoying the dance floor, they sitting there trying to post for the Instagram. They're doing what they believe is acceptable for this social setting instead of just enjoying themselves. Think about when you try to come off as this cool guy, this cool macho man that's all real suave with the words, and ladies, you know, you try to look cute all the time, you come off as awkward because you're trying to keep up with a persona that actually isn't you. So I ask you, so which one do you hate more? To let a stranger or another human down, all because you were being your authentic self and you didn't live up to the expectation that they had for you? Or what about living a life of being uncomfortable and scared to do everyday activities because you're scared on how people are going to judge you? I remember when I was single.
I 100% agree with this, man. And I think the thing is for me, because I still struggle, y'all. I'm not saying I've, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, you know, I'm immune to this. You know, sometimes I go out and, you know, I have my moments where, you know, I'm like, I don't really want to do that. You know, people think about me. People are doing this. But look, though, I think I struggle the most with this is with women, right? Because I don't have no problem, like, sparking up conversations. I don't think, like, if I'm going to say something in a social setting, I'm just going to say it. You feel me? Like, and like I said, I do have that initial guard up. So, you know, over time, it has to be broken down. So people might think that I'm shy and all that, but I'm really not shy. Like, I don't do shy things. Like, I'm just quiet. I'm just reserved. Like, I just pick and choose when to speak and when not to speak. And, you know, I don't know. I'm just real particular on what I say, right? And that might come off as shy, but you start to talk to me like, you wouldn't say that I'm shy. Any of the girls that I talk to, they would not say that I'm shy. In fact, they be surprised how the way I act when I do start talking to them, right? But what I was saying though was this is really what girls for me, like, and it's crazy because I know I've gone up to girls like multiple times, bro. I know guys that can't go up to girls at all. You get what I'm saying? Like, they have a problem going up to women. Me, on the other hand, I've gone up to women. It's just not on a consistent basis. Like, I'll go up to a girl this day, and then, you know, maybe I'll take a week or 2 or 3 or 4. But really, bro, all you gotta do is, like, what's helping me get over that? Because the other day, I just did a 1v3, right? I did a 1v3, right? You know what I'm saying? I was the only boy over there, but I was talking to this one John, and, you know, we ended up exchanging Instagrams. Bro, the only thing you gotta do is, first off, you gotta pick your battles. Like, you can't be going in here. You gotta know your personnel. Like, don't say no. Like he said, be yourself. You know, he's just saying that. Be yourself. If you corny, then be the corny, because bro, I promise you, bro, like don't try and do something that you seen on TikTok, or you seen Duke Dennis do, or you seen somebody, bro. Like all I did, bro, was go up to the joint and I literally introduced myself, shook her hand. I said, yeah, this where I'm, we started talking. I said, oh yeah, you go out here. Oh, what brings you out here? Blah 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 blah. Bro, it don't gotta be nothing. Like it's all in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Social anxiety is all up here. It's like they said, it doesn't exist. It's really just a figment of imagination. Your brain, it's weird how your brain is the most valuable thing on your body, but it can also be the most destructive. Right? Your brain retains so much knowledge and stuff, but it also knows that there's a level of inadequacy, in your life. It might be in your appearance, it might be in your finances, it might be anything in your life. They know, your brain knows there's inadequacy somewhere. And with that inadequacy, it creates insecurity, right? And now with insecurities, they're always in the back. They're always in your mind. Insecurities are always in your mind. They're usually on the forefront of your mind, because it's like, dude, for me, it's my hairline. My hairline, dog. That's mine, right? Look at my jaw. But I'm to the point now, I still have a low cut. I could easily just grow my hair out, you know what I'm saying? But this is why I keep a low cut, bro. So I can get over that insecurity. You know what I'm saying? So I know I just rambled for a little bit, but bro, this is all about confidence at the end of the day. Confidence is very important, especially for men. You gotta be confident. And I'm still struggling myself, y'all. I'm not sitting up here saying I'm perfect. I'm not sitting up here saying I'm confident every single day. I struggle too. Some days, I let the cute girl pass me. And then I get back here and I'm like, dang, like, why did I do that? Right? So it's just being confident. The way you build confidence, for me, you build confidence from spending time alone. You build confidence from showing up every day to activities or events that you plan to go to or do. So if you say to yourself you're going to do push-ups, you got to do the push-ups then. If you say to yourself you're going to, do this, you got to do it. Just do it. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Just do it. Like, you say you're going to do something, do it. Because now you're reassuring yourself in that action. Not only you're reassuring that you are who you are, but you're reassuring that you are confident and that you are a man of your word. So always show up and always do the thing that you said that you was going to do. Right?
Bros would always ask me, yo, bro, how do you have the courage to just walk up to a girl? And I used to tell him, bro, the worst thing that she could say is no. And if she says no... No,
that is not the worst thing she could say. I disagree. That's not the worst thing that she could say. I've actually been cussed out by women before. Right? And I'm thinking, oh, the worst thing she could say is no. And then next thing you know, I got cussed out. So look, be mindful. That's not the worst thing she could say. I don't, like, you feel what I'm saying? It depends on circumstance, but, most likely she will say no, but don't get that in your head that that's the worst thing a girl could say to you. I promise you, that's not the worst thing. It could get ugly.
And I know I'm being authentically who I am. If she rejects that person, then she should not be around me. Because if she approves the person that is a facade, then she's attracted to somebody that's actually not me. Listen, fellas, that's cool. One thing people yearn for right now is to be around somebody that is comfortable being themselves. Let's just think about it real quick. When you go to the club or something like, or the bar, or you're out in a public setting, who is everybody recording? The person that is authentically themselves. They're enjoying the music. They're, hey, that's where everybody put their phone down. They get to enjoy what it is to be in the presence of somebody that's comfortable in their own skin. They're shaking all of their social anxieties and they're allowing themselves just to be them. Everybody around them is yearning to be in that exact seat. So while you may be telling yourself, oh, I gotta fake act like I'm this guy that you're really not. No, you need to be comfortable with being just who you are. Say the corny jokes. Be okay with being rejected for who you are, but be happy that you were who you actually are. Because being nervous is okay, but it's a problem once you let it control you. Because now you fear a normal feeling.
So one of the reasons why you have social anxiety and why you get so nervous in social situations is because at one point in your life, you were taught that it was not okay to be yourself. You developed the belief that being yourself wasn't enough.
And another thing, this usually happens from, you know, your friend groups, right? So if you do something right and your other friends don't do it and they call you out, because this has been me, right, coming up. You know, one thing I used to like doing when I was coming up was coloring, right? Coloring. I still color to this day, you know, but I used to like coloring, right? And I told my friends one day, and they laughed at me. You know what I'm saying? They laughed at me. They said it was corny. They made jokes. And so what did I do? I didn't color no more. Now I got older. I'm like, dog, I actually like coloring. Like, it actually brings peace for me. It's therapeutic. And then, you know what I'm saying? Once you start something, they gonna follow. That's the crazy part. You start something, people are gonna follow, right? Because they see, oh, nah, that thing is cool that you're doing. Oh, I want to try it. That's usually how it goes, bro. So, like, you get made fun of for something, and next thing you know, everybody wants to do it, or everybody wants to try it, or everybody wants to hop on the trend. That's how trends start. You know what I'm saying? One person does one thing, and then now everybody wants to do it. Get what I'm saying?
That if you just express yourself authentically and unapologetically, people are going to reject you. So this brings up an important question.
And that's okay.
How can you bring more and more of yourself to social situations?
Like, we gotta stop putting a negative connotation on rejection. Yeah, it sucks in the moment. Yeah, nobody wants to be rejected. Yeah, it hurts your ego. It hurts your... But, bro, if you rewire your brain and to think of rejection as something that's positive, like, okay, that just means me and this person don't align. Cool. Somebody else, bro. It's so many people in this world. Like, I'm sure you'll get along with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't go through these things, because I've thought this too. I deem rejection as a terrible thing, like the worst thing that could happen. But in actuality, it's a good thing, because you know that you and this person don't align, so there is no being fake. You know what I'm saying? There is no trying to force anything or trying to force a connection. You know, instead of, you know, trying to force y'all way, y'all just go this way, man. You get what I'm saying?
Express more and more of yourself.
You get what I'm saying?
While at the same time, being safe or feeling safe to be yourself in those situations. You're going to have to push your comfort zone just a little bit. But by doing a little bit more each day than what you're used to, you're going to feel more and more comfortable around people, being yourself around people, and being more free around people. Another thing to take note of is the people in your life who already allow you to feel free, to be yourself around them. Hope this helps. And if you have any questions about social anxiety,
and definitely choose a girl that lets you, bro. You have to have a girl too that allows you to be yourself. That's important. So not just the people you hang out with, but the girl that you, or a guy, you know. Some guys, some of my viewers, you know, might like guys, but the person that, you know, your partner.
The best gift that you can give the world is yourself. Like, being your true, authentic self. That is the best gift that you can give somebody. And so, like, if you don't have that community, you don't have those people, start putting yourself out there. Go outside. Go to different events. Like, introduce yourself to people. You know what I mean? Ask people questions. Inquire about who they are. And allow yourself to be open.
You will not overcome your social anxiety by getting good at socializing. And there's two reasons for this. The first reason is because your perception is already distorted. You already misinterpret social interactions because of your obsessiveness and because of your low self-esteem. So even if you were to have quote unquote good interactions, the likelihood is you would still find something to obsess about. And the second reason is because you do not overcome a fear by reassuring yourself that everything is okay. You overcome a fear by facing the fear head on and realizing that despite the negative outcome, you can manage it. And so when I hear people say, but you don't understand, every time I have a social interaction, it goes really poorly. Number one, we can't trust your assessment because of your low self-esteem. And number two, the whole point of this is to have bad social interactions. A stand-up comic does not get good at stand-up by just being really good at stand-up. They have to bomb. They bomb over and over and over again until they lose the fear of bombing, and then it gets easier. That's what we need to do. We need to bomb and be okay with bombing. So after the social interaction, you don't tell yourself you're a loser, you're a mess up. You tell yourself, oh, well, I made a mistake. It is what it is. You throw it to the wind. I realize that's easier said than done, but that is the attitude you need to have. Everybody makes social mistakes. Your problem is that you misinterpret them and you obsess about it.
So if you have social anxiety, I just want to let you know that you are not alone. I struggled with really bad social anxiety, and sometimes I still do. That's why this video for me was very therapeutic, just to make this video. Just to remind myself and to remind you guys that nobody really cares, okay? Just be you. And when I look back at the moments that I really have enjoyed in my life, it was moments of me just being me. Even if I looked stupid to others or whatever, it felt free. So just allowing myself to be me really helps with my social anxiety. And another reason that I didn't really touch on in this video while a lot of y'all experience social anxiety is also because you're living with some type of shame, which is why watching those X-rated videos, you should really stay away from, because although it feels good in the moment and it doesn't feel like it's hurting anybody, deep in your subconscious, it creates some type of shame because you subconsciously believe that people may see that dark side of you when they're looking at you, which is why it's hard for you to look at people in their eyes. Try it out. I'm telling you, it works. But if you're living in an honest life and you're not living with shame and stuff like that, I'm going to tell you the same way my dad told me. You got to look under the bed so you can see that there's no monsters under the bed. Because if not, your imagination is going to keep telling you that that monster is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And also remember this, one day we will all die and everything that you're worried about won't even matter, especially the opinions of others. So live life to the fullest and stop putting your happiness on layaway for later. Live now, because later is not guaranteed. Anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Ty Boogie.
Hey, what Lauryn Hill say? Nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters at all. You feel me? Like, hey man, that's true. And look, the reason why I actually wanted to make a video on the topic of pornography, because it actually is something I struggled with coming up as a kid. And I haven't made the video yet because I'm like, dude, I can't really talk about this subject because I still struggle, you know what I'm saying? To this day, I still struggle, dog. So I don't really know how to help you guys not struggle. But one thing I have done is, because, relapses are going to happen, right? But I think relapsing and not doing anything about it is what's causing, a continuation of the cycle. So I think if you discipline yourself, right? And I got this push-up app, y'all can download it as well. But say you watch, something you're not supposed to, you gotta hold yourself accountable. You hold yourself accountable. You put in your push-up counter. All right, now I got to do 500 push-ups for the whole day because I watched something, right? Now, at least you're going to be strong. You feel me? At least you're going to be strong, you know what I'm saying? Holding yourself accountable. But that's a topic for another day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. Join the movement. I'll hit y'all in the next one. Peace.